We're talking protein. It's an essential nutrient, but how much do we need and where should we get it from?
We're back with Dr. Laura Christoph, Professor of Nutrition. Earlier we talked about healthy fats. Now we're going to talk about protein and the sources that we should get it from.
Protein and sources. So everyone's always a little worried about protein, like where am I getting it? Am I getting enough? And protein needs can be met relatively easily. So we need about 1/2 gram of protein per pound of body weight, which when we add it up throughout the day isn't really that much. However,
so if you weigh 100 pounds, you want 50 grams of protein in your diet. Okay.
Yeah, roughly for like the moderately active person. It's pretty easy to meet that because 50 grams of protein would just be that piece of salmon right there.
Wow.
Yeah, so pretty easy to meet your protein needs. However, there's this range of protein that you can get as a percentage of total calories, which is 10 to 35%. And if you're pushing that 35%, it's more close to 1 gram per pound of protein a day, which 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So like if you're 150 pounds, then 150 grams. And that's a little harder to do.
Let's break it down even further. Protein generally, how does that work inside your body?
Inside your body. So protein has lots of different roles in our body. We don't have storage of protein, so you're constantly breaking protein down and building it back up. So protein's needed for all sorts of things. It's needed to digest our food, it's needed to help our immune system, it's needed for our hair and our nails, it's needed for our muscles, which is what we always think about it as, and it's needed for energy. So super important nutrient.
Okay. And there's 2 different kinds of protein, 2 different sources?
Yeah, so there's complete protein, which means it contains all the building blocks. So if you're getting complete protein, it means that it has all of the amino acids or building blocks necessary to build up any protein your body needs. So you can almost think of getting like a specialized Lego kit and then building the house out of it, right? And then we have these complementary proteins. So it's like, you know, you want to build a Lego house and a Lego car, and so you need to get 2 different kits and put them together. So I'm going to talk about complete and then complementary, and then talk about adding extra protein to your diet too.
Okay.
So let's start with complete.
All right, so our complete protein would be any animal product is considered complete. So that would be anything from the dairy group or any meat product or eggs or cheese, anything like that. One exception to the rule is soy. So soy is a vegetable product that actually has a complete protein profile. And so for that reason, soy is used as, you know, fake meat in a lot of different things, right? So
and that's soy right here, and this is tempeh, which is a similar thing.
Yep, soy is made into tofu.
Soy.
Yep, and then it can also, so tempeh is also made of soybeans kind of mushed together in a little bit different way there. Yeah. So one of the issues with some of the complete proteins is a lot of times the fat sources that come with complete proteins are high in saturated fat, which we said we want to decrease a little. So sometimes high protein diets are related to heart disease, but it's not necessarily the protein, it's probably the saturated fat and cholesterol.
Well, yeah, if you think about it a little bit, like I was trying to do a high-protein diet, and then I just stuffed my face with bacon and sausage for a while, and that's probably not healthy either.
Right, and you end up not actually having a super high-protein diet. You have a really high-fat, low-carb diet. Yeah.
That makes sense. You gotta keep...
A light just went off in my head, and I realized now where those extra pounds have gone.
Keep that in mind, I suppose, right?
Now I get it.
Now moving on to beans that we know is a great source of protein.
Right, so beans and nuts and seeds are not complete protein. So they have lots of protein in them, but not all of the building blocks that we need. So we need to assist those proteins with some grains. So you don't have to do this at the same meal, but combining some type of grain with some type of bean, nut, seed, that combination can create complete proteins.
So this is the Lego kits that complement each other.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So we're complementing each other. So
got it.
Lots of traditional foods have that. So hummus is actually a complementary protein in and of itself because there's tahini, the sesame, and then the chickpeas in it. You know, we have our typical American peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which you could say is a complementary protein with the peanut butter and the bread. Or, you know, a typical Latino combination would be rice and beans, right? So you can think of all those things that probably people had no idea of the science behind it. Yeah. But traditionally, those things can be combined.
If you only have one Lego set, is it really detrimental to your health, though, if you can only have one source of the protein?
It is, and that doesn't usually happen in this country. So we don't typically see protein malnutrition in this country unless it's an eating disorder or a food insecurity situation. But sometimes in developing countries, if a mother has been nursing a baby and then has another baby right away, and there's not access to complementary proteins, she might feed that baby just cereal grain or something like that. And then that's when you see the distended belly of babies, like in the Feed the Children commercials and things like that. You see the baby with the distended belly. That's protein deficiency. So that's what could happen, and disruption in fluid balance because protein is deficient.
Now, we're almost out of time, but these are the grains over here that you want to team with these for the second building blocks.
Yep.
And lastly, we have proteins here, and these are the kind of the asterisks. These are the ones that are outliers.
Yeah, so a lot of times some of my clients will be eating, you know, maybe a high protein diet, but they can't quite get in that gram per pound, and that's when you could add in some sort of extra protein powder or a protein bar or something like that. So these are Quest products. I just happen to use them because the ingredients are a little bit more natural than some of the other bars and shakes and stuff, and these would have about 20 to 30 grams of protein per serving.
It's a great source.
Right, so if you're finding yourself, if you have that goal of having that high protein diet and you're a little short on protein for the day, this would be a place to supplement without, you know, getting confused by all the carbs and then all the fat, and is it saturated fat that's in the product? And another way you could do that is egg whites or just plain white chicken.
It is confusing, but luckily, and thanks to you, people can go to mymassappeal.com to find all of this good stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you.